So we have Marcel De Maria here from the Gift of Bread, and he's been sharing his story, which is a fantastic story. And Paul, did you have some more questions there that you wanted to ask?
But yes, the question I was going to ask is about, well, firstly, I always thought, I see Marcel running around the place, and I often thought, well, when does he ever sleep? And then I thought, well, and then when does he work? Because I think this is pretty much a full-time job for you now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's become that.
But do you have organisations support you? Like, how do you survive on that basis?
We do things throughout the year. We've got gala dinners, we've got lotteries. We've got a little thing called street food. One of the supermarkets down in Marrickville, Banana Joe's, lets us use the space just in front of the supermarket. And every few weeks we're down there and we've got a different theme. So we might do chicken tikka done in a chapati wrap. So it's Indian street food. We've done things like Canadian street food where we do the maple with the syrup and the strawberries and the cream and so on. We do the typical sausage as well.
Sausage sizzle.
Absolutely.
And you sell these to raise funds?
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it does is it raises just a little bit of money, enough to put some fuel in the vans that we've got. It keekeeps us going. Initially, we started without vans. We just had volunteers' cars, and we used to try and cram as much bread to go out, to collect and then go out. Yeah. And at some point, the quantity that was coming in and out started to become a little bit unmanageable in the little cars. Some of us had SUVs and so on, but we sort of thought, look, let's get something a little bit more commercial so that we can carry larger quantities. We had a big fundraiser one year, and we raised a little bit of money, but not enough to buy a $45,000 van.
Right.
Somebody came up to us and said, "Oh, what do you need?" And I said, "Look, we're still trying to raise, another $35,000 we needed to get to a van." And they said, "Well, why don't you approach one of the clubs?" And so we approached Canterbury Bankstown. It's okay to say that here, isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we'll forgive you.
This is South Sydney territory,
That's
right?
Yeah, Paul's a big supporter here, so you're okay.
Oh, don't tell the Bulldogs. I'm a Rabbitoh. Far ago. Anyway,
Yes.
So we approached them, and they looked at what we were doing and sort of said, "Look, we're happy to help." They actually funded the difference.
Wow,
isn't that amazing?
That's fantastic.
They've been supportive all probably for the last 3 years now. We've gotten some pretty good support from them. They actually fund the bags that we put the bread in.
Okay.
So when the bread goes out, you'll notice at the bottom of the bread bag there, we acknowledge that they're on our team.
Wow, fantastic.
And I think it's important to acknowledge clubs like that because they are big organisations, but they do a lot for the community, don't they?
They do. Yeah.
And Canterbury Leagues Club definitely do a lot. I know that when I used to help at the Rocks at the homeless breakfast, and Canterbury Leagues Club used to be a supporter of them as well.
Right.
And it's really good, and that's not in their district. I mean, Gift of Bread's in another district, but they're just keen to help, aren't they?
Absolutely. And we do a fair bit of work within that demographic as well. So Canterbury Bankstown. We support a lot of Chris Riley's Youth Office Streets, and he's got vans, and their social workers are out there doing stuff for the kids, and we regularly supply bread for their sausage sizzles and things that they do at their schools and
Fabulous.
So on. Yeah.
Right, so basically, even maybe, I don't know, this is an idea. What about schools if they wanted to raise money for their school and they had a sausage sizzle?
We were in Miller a few months back. There was NAIDOC week.
Yes.
And the school there was celebrating NAIDOC, and they had about 1,200 students come down.
Right, okay.
So it was all the surrounding schools that met at Miller Public School. And we were involved with that.
Wow!
And that was an amazing experience. There was a couple of young men that came down from Queensland, and they sat down on the ground there, and they pulled out their didgeridoos, and they just started playing. It was electrifying. I must tell you,
amazing.
It's on our Facebook page. There's a little bit of a video there as well. But just the experience of having everybody there, and they're out there getting their sausages, and we actually shared a lot of bread with the community that day as well.
Well, that's fabulous.
It's a great concept, isn't it? Otherwise, this bread, cake, and all buns and that would all be just thrown into the rubbish. Because I think bakers they like the shops to look really nice and full.
Absolutely,
so
and the marketing idea is that you should be able to walk into the shop at the end of the day and basically buy whatever you want. Having said that, there's also what do you do with a surplus at the end of the day?
Yes.
That's where we come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic idea. And so you look, are you expanding, or are you sort of trying to keep it under control?
We are expanding. We're expanding exponentially, but we're not proactive in letting people know what we do.
All right.
We find that it's word of mouth, and people find out about us, and they say, "Oh, would you like to come here?"
Yeah.
But you do need some drivers, right?
We're always in need of volunteers. When we got our first van, and all of a sudden things changed a little bit, people had to come in and go and collect the bread and then bring it back to the centre so we could process. And what we've got is a rostered system, so, on a Monday so-and-so will do it, or on a Tuesday so-and-so will do it. We also have different shifts during the day, so, some people start at 8 o'clock in the morning, but you'll find that at 7 o'clock at night we're still picking up bread and delivering bread to different organisations, and there are different people that help. When there aren't helpers, then some of us have to step in, and it makes it a little bit hard. So if there are people out there that want to put their hand up and they're good drivers and have a good clean record, certainly there's web feedback on our website, www.giftofbread.org, and just gives us happy to have some extra helpers.
And is there any particular area you're looking for?
Look, the area is mainly inner west, going out to Blacktown, Liverpool. We reach out as far as Macquarie Fields, Campbelltown area. So Greater Sydney, and the commitment would be 1 or 2 hours a day on a weekly basis.
Right, and there could possibly be a loaf of bread thrown in there.
Oh, there's more than a loaf of bread. You could get donuts, or you could get.
So there's a bit of an incentive. There's a little.
There's always there's God's plenty there, and we share it with everybody.
And I mean, if you're keen to help out, it's a great way of doing it, isn't it? Like, I noticed the people at Marrickville there this morning, they were probably retired people or something, and they're doing the morning shift.
That's
clearly,
right.
And, but if anyone's interested in helping, they'll go to your website.
Go to the website, web feedback. Just say you're interested in helping us. Somebody will be in contact with you. Just make sure you leave a phone number or something, or an email address, and we'll come back and.
So that's www.giftofbread.com.
.org.
.org.
Yes.
Folks, jump on the computer right now. Apply for it.
Yeah, that's right. And then you could, if you got to have a special license, or is it a normal car license?
It's a normal license,
but they need to have a good driving
and we're
record.
generally looking for people over 25, and you'll find that the retired people are usually the ones that are best suited for this sort of work. They've got time on their hands during the day, and a few of them don't mind committing.
And it gives them something to do before they pick up their grandchildren as well.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the young ones can come Friday nights before they go out clubbing or doing whatever they do, because it finishes reasonably early. And young ones don't go out till about 10 o'clock, do they? So if you...
Yeah.
Well, things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, they sure have. But if you live in that Marrickville area and you want to help out, well, here's a go. You say you want to reach out, help. That's
Marrickville, Balmain, we're in Erskineville as well. Yeah.
Erskineville, those places.
And Lewisham, yeah.
Lewisham. And the people are friendly, aren't they? Like, I've noticed when I come down, everyone's always very friendly and
sure.
Make you feel welcome. So you're not, it's a fast-moving volunteer job, because there's no mucking around. Like, it all happens.
There's a fair bit of bread that we need to move through, so it's all hands on deck, basically. You need to be in there, do the stuff that you... And at the end of the day, sometimes we'll sit around, pull out a bit of cheese and olives and a bit of wine,
And why not? You deserve it for the...
it's nice.
And a bit lonely, they can join this group, can't
absolutely,
they?
Absolutely.
Or the group that you do, Paul.
Well, that's right.
Delivering the extra bread.
We take the product that Marcel supplies, we take it out and give it to the people, and they just absolutely love it, It's amazing when you're on the street. I suppose any little bit of something that's a bonus is nice, isn't it, Someone donated to us this afternoon a whole lot of bottles of Dare milk, or
Wow.
So we just it's just people are quite generous, and rather than just, I suppose, corporates and that could just throw it out and get rid of it, but they are becoming a bit more mindful of others, the need of others now, which is not a bad thing, is it?
Absolutely. And a few months back, we started seeing the Woolworths come on board. We got a phone call from corporate. They've changed their attitude about throwing away food.
Wow.
They look at the waste and they
look at what they can do with it. Is
absolutely.
that right? And they've called you guys.
Yeah. Well, we go around their in-house bakeries and we pick up all the bread from their in-house bakeries, and we're slowly rolling out in the inner west from the Woolies supermarkets.
Right.
We recently picked up the Coles as well.
Right.
So Coles, their online store. Imagine they throw away 40 crates of bread a day.
Right.
And
yeah.
what do you do with that? So we go around, we pick it up, and then we share it with those in need in the community.
Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? And I think it's time to bit those organisations. I mean, I got a lot of help out of Woolworths at Christmas for our organisation. Often people think they're a bit uncaring, but they were certainly the opposite when we approached them. You know, they helped us for our Martin Place meals, and
All right.
it was just fantastic what Woolworths donated to us. So they are a bit of a caring organisation.
Yeah, definitely. They do push food aside now.
Yeah.
It's changed. The attitude's changed considerably. We're seeing what used to be, there's this mentality that says, somebody might get sick with the old food, but really if the food still hasn't expired or is just about to, it is good food.
Excellent.
And,
yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? You know, I mean, we're a bit over the top these days, worrying about all that, aren't we? You know, I mean, I remember years ago, when I was about 30 years ago, I used to do St Vincent de Paul. We used to make our sandwiches at home, and Devon on tomato, whatever we had, you'd make generally 2 loaves of bread, and that was part of your commitment, was to bring the food.
Sure,
you know?
yeah.
And now, because it's all made in a stainless steel kitchen with rubber gloves and God knows what, because everybody's worried about who's going to sue who, but it's just a shame.
Yep.
That's the world we live in now.
That's right.
So I reckon it should be more like gift of bread, collecting the food and giving it to others. It's great.
Fantastic. And thank you, Marcel, for coming into the show today and
thank you.
And sharing your bread with us.
Yeah.
Sharing the information
and the
I need.
wonderful idea.
And look, thank you for having me.